name of my ancestors, peace forever and always. Welcome to another edition of what I call, welcome to a spontaneous, as always, edition of what I call the Reality's Temple on Earth Internet Ministry. I am the host or the gatekeeper of this program, known here on social media, wherever you may find me. I am known as the mighty Angel Snuck Number 7. I am also your soul brother number 1. I just want to make a quick comment real quick. Hey, how you doing there, Brother Scott? All right. I just want to make a quick comment. My own personal views, my own personal opinion. Two short topics. I want to send condolence to the family of the young man who was killed by these Caucasian men, these racist pink fellas. Of course, that is a tragedy. But quite honestly, I can shed no more tears. I can shed no more tears for us living in the United States of America. I cannot shed any more tears for us. I feel sorry for your loss, but you get what you asked for. If you are a chicken and you live with foxes and you wake up with your leg ate off, whose fault is it? Is it the fox or is it you? You decided to lay up because those foxes are nice. Those foxes ain't like the other foxes. Foxes eat chickens. And you trust the fox. So this young man got up, started his day like any other day. And you're gonna live normal. All of us do, every day. So-called Negroes, soul brothers and sisters, African Americans, black people, however you want to call us. We live in America every day without a worry in the world, including these black power type folks too. You have no worry in the world. And you live, and you know you live. And you've been living with dangerous people for 500 years. It reminds me of the animals at the slaughterhouse. They just living their life, normal. The pigs just do what pigs do. The cows do what cows do. The chickens do what chickens do. Every day, they are getting closer to the blade. They getting closer to be turned into hot buffalo wings and pork chops and hamburger. They don't know, they just living their life. And that's how we are in America. You're just living your life. And then you know about what can happen. But it's just like the little girl. And she hear about all the other young girls that got pregnant. She said, that's them. That's not me. Can't happen to me. Next thing you know, she's pregnant just like they are. Can't happen to you. That was Trayvon Martin. That was Sean Bell. That was Freddie Gray. I'm a law-abiding citizen. You got to know how to handle the police. Well, see, they teach you how to handle the police. What about the ordinary, racist citizen that you live with in this country? How do you handle them? They teach you the protocol how to handle the police. These were not police. These were ordinary citizens. So this young man gets up, decides to go for a jog like he's done maybe countless times. And he's jogging next to this construction site. And this construction site has a lot of valuable, expensive tools. Also, the claim is, as usual, we've had a lot of break-ins in our area. They always say that. Usually, the people that's doing it turn out to be Caucasian. So the young man is jogging, trying to stay healthy, jogs around this construction. Some nosy dingbat Caucasian woman looking out the window, see a black man. Oh my goodness. Because you should not be around them. Why are you around them? He's stealing. He's running away from the construction site. So the 911 dispatcher asked him. Of course he's running. He's jogging. He's next to this construction site. We had break-in. He's running. She alerts her neighbors. And of course, these hillbilly cave people come out and confront the man. Clearly, you can see the man is running. He's jogging. He has nothing to show that he's in the process of stealing. A bag, a box, running to a car. There's no evidence this man is trying to steal anything. He's just jogging. So they approach the man, as usual, due to false allegations, false claims, and a scuffle and a weapon is involved, and this poor young man who has so much to offer in life, his life is taken in the blink of an eye. You said, brother, you don't You don't shed a tear. No, I do not shed a tear. I cannot cry anymore. Do you know how many stories like this I have heard over the last 30 years? And we do nothing about it. You still here living with the foxes, and you are a chicken. These people have been doing this to us and our kind going on 500 years. It did not stop at Trayvon Martin. It did not stop at Eric Garner. And it's never going to stop till you get your happy ass away from them, or you show them, if you kill one of ours, we're killing 10 of yours. Then they'll think about messing with you before causing you harm. They'll think about it. Uh-oh. We got to be careful about messing with this one, because they're going to come after us. Either you separate, or you show these bastards, you mess with mine, I'm coming after yours. Well, mine is innocent. You should go after the people that actually committed the crime. We're gonna do it all. Go after the ones that actually committed the crime, and you're innocent. Because we need to prove to you that if your idiots want to take ours, we gonna take yours. Tick for tack. But your best solution is to separate into a territory you can call your own, or that you can control, until you can separate from these people. So why are you shocked? It could be me tomorrow. It could be you tomorrow, but we don't think that way. Oh, well, you know, that's them. That's what happened to them. Can't happen to me. So I cannot cry. When you decide, how can I cry for a person you live with, an abuser, and you keep telling them you need to get out of there before they kill you? They won't leave. Next thing you know, you get a telephone call. So-and-so dead. What's her name? Killed her. What am I supposed to do? Cry? I can't do that. If the National Weather Advisory tell you need to get out of your house and find cover, because we are expecting, and it's a possibility, that tornadoes are getting ready to hit your area, and you say, I'm gonna stay in my house. And so the tornadoes hit, and they find you dead in your house. Are we supposed to cry? Are we supposed to cry because you stupid? You was given a warning. We have been living with these people going on 500 years. They have been doing this to us for 500 years. Why are you shocked? So, they go on, and now you have people jumping for joy. The killers are charged with murder. The same scenario over and over again, the same crap. Sometimes the murderers are prosecuted. Sometimes there's a way they can find a way out of it or whatever. The majority of killers do not get punished. The majority. This we know. But you're going to continue to live with the racists and I guess you figure that's better than nothing. That's better than nothing. Oh, happy day. And the next black man, woman, or child they murder, it would be justifiable homicide. I thought the infant in the cradle had a bomb. I was protecting myself. They was terrorists. I thought the little infant had a bomb strap. Whatever the reason is. So for me, don't expect me to cry. Don't expect me to show emotion when you get what you asked for. We live with racists. We live with people that hate your guts. They're going to do what they've done, what they've been doing for the last 500 years. No big deal. Either you separate from them or you show them you're nobody to play with. And you're not going to do that. You're too cowardly and scared to even try. Even the thought about something like that is terrifying for many of us. That's one of the reasons why I knew I better not have children. Because if you kill my child, you're gonna pay. You're gonna pay. You kill my baby. I remember the old Kung Fu movies. And somebody would kill another person's teacher, kill their mother, their father, or brother. The one who is left alive, look, the one who is left alive, whether they are grown or whether they are children, they take a vow of revenge. So here you are, your teacher, you was only 8 years old when your teacher was killed. And you know who done it. And you say, at 8 years old, I'm going to avenge my teacher's death. You don't hear that from Trayvon Martin's family. Now, I wouldn't go around making that a public thing, but then, again, so I don't give a revenge for killing Trayvon Martin. There's no way, out of all the people that's related to Trayvon Martin, there's no way George Zimmerman women should be walking around free, bragging, and living a good, healthy life. We don't think about revenge. You killed my son. I'm gonna take revenge. Now somebody, when it comes to black folks now we think about revenge when it comes to our own people. When Nipsey Hussle was killed, I heard members of the man that was accused, do that. We take revenge against our own, but when it comes to outsiders, we gonna wait on the law. We gonna wait on Donald Trump. We gonna wait on God. Revenge is not part of our vocabulary. I cannot imagine how I would feel. I got a telephone call. Your son is dead. This guy, George Zimmerman, shot your son in the heart. And then I go to court and I see this fact. See, when your mind filled with all that spiritual, religious, supposed to be high, elevated stuff, it makes you docile. Wherever you find religion and spirituality, you will find people who are oppressed. You will find people who are exploited. You will find people who are enslaved. Wherever you find that belief, that practice, you will see the people in poverty. Because it's a coping mechanism. Everything gonna be all right. Don't worry about George Zimmerman. Everything gonna be all right. He gonna get his on the other side. You didn't say that about the black man. Y'all went and killed him immediately. But George Zimmerman, he gonna get his on the other side. So I hope that you understand why I cannot shed any tears. And for those of you who listen to my words, you never hear me talk about the latest racist murder and how bad white folks is treating us. You never hear me talk about that. Because as long as we are here, as long as you live with them and other people that don't like you, what you expect? So what's the sense of talking about it and you can't do nothing about it? So what? Take your ass whooping like a man. Take your ass whooping like and shut the hell up. Because you're not gonna do nothing about it. Speaking of spirituality, there's a man, I don't know how old this brother is. He claims he is a Kemetic priest. He's been studying for 30 years. So he does not look like he's in his 50s or even late 40s. So I don't know how old this brother is. but 30 years is a long time in your life, and you're not even 50, you're not 40, and you've been studying as a Kemetic priest for 30 years. The brother has a lot of incredible accomplishments. That's not what I want to talk about. I don't want to talk about his personal life, what he does or what he did not do. I want to talk about his claims, his ideology. That's what I want to talk about. I was watching him debate this brother called Chief X on the Sonetta Studios channel. And I would rather ride with Chief X. Chief X calls himself, what they call it, a pantheist or something like that. He believes in the divine in a scientific kind of manner, I guess. I guess that's how it goes. I'm not sure. All these different labels and titles, I lose track. So I really don't know how that works. Now, I have spoken via YouTube comments to both of these men. Now, Chief X don't really care too much for Angel Snub 7. Like, who does? because Chief X is an African. And of course, you know my position on being an African. So Chief X don't want to hear about we are soul brothers and sisters. Chief X don't want to hear about we are Aboriginal. Chief X said, I'm an African. What kind of African, they never say. West African, Southern African, they the whole continent. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how that works. I want to talk about Jabari claim to be a Kemetic priest. Now, how can you be, the first problem is, how can you be an Egyptian priest or Kemetic priest? How long has Kemet, how long has Egypt, ancient Egypt, been off the grid? 5,000 years. Who ordained you, Kemetic priest? You born and raised for generations in the good old United States of America. Matter of fact, how did a slave know about ancient Egypt? How do a slave know about Islam or the Moors? How did you find out all about this stuff? They always tell me to do my research. They always tell me to do my study. Where did you get it from? Our people in this country were slaves over 300 years, denied religion, and when they was given religion, it was Christianity. They was denied how to read and write. Where was the Kemetic priesthood during slavery? When did you go to Africa and learn all this stuff? When did a slave go to Morocco, go to the Middle East, and learn about Islam and all this stuff? When did you go? The root and the foundation of all this so-called knowledge, who taught you this? Including Marcus Garvey. Where are we getting all this information from? At the root, the origins. You got it all from the white man. You have no other teacher. These people keep talking about Africa this, Africa that, the Moors, the Hebrews. At the root of all your information is the white man or some other foreign person. You keep talking all this Africa stuff, you nothing. You got it. You got your start when the Peckerwood allowed you to study in his universities and his schools. And then you put your own spin on things. And the white man told you was African. What African came over here and told us we was African? It all come from the Peckerwood. Like King Nova said, this is a fact. This is a fact. At the root. At the origins of it all. Because we were slaves. Who is your original teachers? It was the white man. The study of Egyptology, and you turn it into Kemet because you found out there was another name for it. It all comes from the Peckerwood. None of it don't even come from Africa. They are the ones who decipher the hieroglyphics. They are the ones. And other people. Ain't no Africans taught y'all nothing. No Moors. No real Moor taught you nothing. No real Hebrew Israelite taught you nothing. It's all fabricated things. And what's up there, Zeal? Hey, how you doing, wise thinker? It's fabricated. That's right, Laurel. It's all fabricated stuff, and you mixed it in with Christianity. That's what you done. If you really look at the Kemetic priest Jabari and what they do, you will see traces, because they don't know what they did in Kemet. You didn't live 5,000 years ago. Ain't nobody taught you nothing from Kemet. So they make up something they think the Egyptians done. It's fabricated. Plagiarized. It's not real. So Jabari gets a little upset with Chief X because Chief X he's wondering the same thing. You know, like, how you a Kemetic priest? That was 5,000 years ago. Common sense tell you. Well, Jabari said, I got all these people, they believe I'm a priest. There are people who believe in Santa Claus. Do that make Santa Claus real? No. There's people that believe in all kinds of crazy stuff. And Jabari keeps talking about we need to return to African spirituality. Again, Africa is a continent. It has no spirit. Africa is not alive. You have people on the continent with different kinds of belief systems. And believe me, some of these beliefs you don't want nothing to do with. But see, what they've done is just taken some bits and pieces, glued it together, because that's not African spirituality. African spirituality would be all the belief systems in one ball. They don't represent that. It makes no sense. And that's what Chief X was telling them. The things that you say, it defies common sense. It defies reality and reason and logic. They keep giving credit to something that you cannot prove, earn the credit. If you don't teach a child about spirituality, the subject will never be brought up. It's a learned behavior. Religion and spirituality was forced on people with violence. If the king and the queen, the rulers, if they converted to that particular belief or whatever, they would force it on the people. And people like me and Chief X, they would ostracize us or they would murder us outright. Religion and spirituality is about the, just like L'Oreal said, it's about the control of the mind. Just like Chief X said, to take your individual, make your, so when you go listen to Priest Jabari, all those who are around him, they all sound the same. It takes away your individual personality. It all sounds the same. And then you keep talking about a spirit. Somebody said that spirit means to breathe. It simply means breath. Spirit means breath. So when you blow, that's some breath, and it's just there and it goes away. That's not what they're trying to say. They're trying to say that there's a physical body and there's some kind of other force outside of the physical body that's your spirit. you a spiritual lie. Well, it's like air. It's not like air. You can put air in a bottle. You can blow smoke to the air and you can see the air. You can break down the air, the various gases that make up air. You never show your spirit. You never show that this other conscious or whatever you're talking about exists. Never. You have people that talk about they died and their spirit left their body and they saw their physical flesh laying on the table. You dead for sure. You was not dead. Because once you're dead, you don't come back. I have yet to see my grandmother. They're gone. We love lies and fairy tales and delusions. It makes you feel good. Because in reality, you know you ain't nothing but a slave living with racists. So these religion and spirituality make you feel good. It's the same thing they did for the slave. Well, I'm gonna suffer as a slave, but when I die, I'm gonna go to heaven. I'm gonna be with my Lord and my Creator, and I'm gonna live a happy life. It's the same principle, same stuff. You're a Negro slave in reality. You have no power in reality. But when you die,
keep to the left on I-280 west I-74 west.
Matter of fact, some of these people cannot even wait till they die. They can fly out their body and go to planet X and go to different realms. They can't even wait till they die. Why?
Continue on this road for 27 miles.
I'm still waiting for somebody to astral project while I'm driving or something. And you know, I would just have to tell the truth. That's right, Laurel. See? Laurel says that the Mississippi campaign can be our heaven. It can be the catalyst to make your heaven real on earth. That's what I'm telling you. It's the beginning to change your destiny. Now you have Brother Chief X. He's a very strong activist in California and businessman. And you have Brother Jabari, very successful business person. And we must applaud their efforts and what they do. However, it does nothing for us as a people. You have to do something on a large scale that can help the 40 million. Not just your little neighborhood, not just your little place where, you know, just where you live or whatever. It defeats the purpose. You have to do something on a very large scale that can benefit the whole 40 million. Something they can participate in. Because if you listen to the brothers, it's about them. Look what I did, my business. See, my business. That's good for you. How does that help me? That's your business. Jabari said him and his wife bought. What they got to do with me? How is that going to help me? It's not going to help me. How does that help the 40 million? It does not. So is Jabari a real Kemetic priest? No. First of all, ancient Kemet does not exist. Ancient Kemet does not exist. What we know of as Kemet does not exist, so how can you be a Kemetic priest when that which you said that you practice is don't exist? You are not ordained by nobody in modern day Egypt, modern day Kemet. Matter of fact, you despise them. You don't want nothing to do with them, so. But you live in America. You're not an African. You never lived in Africa. The best thing you can do is go visit. You have no relatives in Africa. The only thing you can do is go visit and be a tourist. That's all you can do. You're not a citizen. You have no ties, no connection to Kemet. You know, you have no contribution to Kemetic history. None. It's all lies. And we love lies because these lies make us feel good. Like the sister with the whack hairstyle. Now she looking at the hairstyle and she know it's not all about that. She gonna make herself like it. It's whack. But you can believe whatever you want to believe. But you're not real. So I definitely cannot get with you because you're not real. You're faking the funk. You're perpetrating the fraud. That's why the people got to believe you're a Kemetic priest. Because the reality is you're not. Kemet does not exist.
Continue on this road for 20 miles.
And Jabari got on my case about that on a video that I made. I talked about this earlier. And I'm like, sir, I'll be happy to discuss this with you. But there's really nothing to discuss because you're not going to be able to prove a 5,000 connection, a 5,000-year-old connection between you and Kemet. You're not going to be able to do that. I don't care what your educational level is, sir. I don't care how smart you think you sound. Now, Chief X, he did all right, but he let Jabari slide with this spirituality stuff. It's not real. I don't care if Jabari got a bachelor's degree or a master's degree. He been to Africa 100 times. What he talking about is not real.
State order ahead.
And I'm not gonna let him slide until he proves that what you talking about is real. It's not. It's a belief. And that's what you're gonna say when it's all said and done. It's fairy tales that make you feel good. It's delusions that make you feel good. As simple as that. Now, I might get comments from Jabari robots. But I very much doubt if Jabari want to deal with me face to face and show us that Kemet ordained him as a priest. I don't know what you've been studying for 30 years, sir. But it did not come from Kemet. Like King Nova said, that's a fact. This is a fact. It didn't come from Kemet. Maybe you was ordained by Pastor Ray Hay or somebody. Chief X say, how can you be a Kemetic priest and you was born in the United States of America? It makes no sense. Except to those who believe in that which don't make sense. We don't do that here. It has to be challenged. We want to keep it here as real as possible to the best of our ability. You don't need religion and spirituality to be a righteous person. You don't need religion and spirituality to give you the drive to be a successful person. You don't need it. That's a lie somebody made up to make you believe. To give something credit and take the credit away from your own self. I'm not giving God or spirituality, I'm not giving none of that crap credit for what I do. I remember back in the day, I did. All praise due to Allah. Because I was able to accomplish blah, blah, blah. Allah gave me the power, gave me the strength. Later on, when I messed around and got in my little situation, the worst struggle I had in my whole entire life, there was no God, there was no spirituality, and I was able to set myself free from the control of some wicked ass people. I give myself the credit. If spirituality did something for me, if God did something for me, I would tell you. I would tell you the truth about it. I say, hey, you know, God did this and spirit. It's not the case. I have no problem giving credit where credit is due. But I'm not going to lie for God, and I'm not going to lie for spirituality. And I know my opinion is very harsh, but I have no choice but to call Jabari a liar, like all religious and spiritual folks are. You're liars. You're deceivers.
Speed warning.
That's what you are. You don't want to debate me because you know you cannot prove that what you're talking about is real in no kind of way.
Warning.
So that makes you a liar. Well, you say our ancestors, thousands of years, Africans and people been spiritual, they was lied to.
Speed warning.
And a lot of it was not even spirituality. A lot of it was nothing but simple respect for the earth. And they call it spirituality.
Speed warning.
I'm gonna say this and get out of here. There are animals. For example, it's a lizard. And this lizard eat nothing but eggs. And the lizard would climb up a tree and it would find a bird's nest and eat the eggs, but would leave one or two. See, the lizard is smart enough to know, since I eat eggs, I can't eat all these eggs, because if I eat all these eggs, there won't be any birds to lay eggs so I can eat. Also, if there's no birds to lay eggs, that's the end of my species.
Speed warning.
Because my future generations won't have any eggs to eat. It's just survival technique. Respect for the planet. Respect for your own life. They want to give the credit. Spirituality and religion is man-made. You don't need to be taught all this stuff.
Speed warning.
These things was taught to us to keep you docile, to keep you under control, so that you will tolerate oppression, exploitation, and slavery, and other abuse. Because you think that when you die, you're gonna fly and go somewhere else out in the universe some damn where. I have yet to see one person come to the earth, come back from the universe, and tell us what it's all about. We need to grow up. That's your problem. We need to grow up. And see, that's another thing.
Speed warning.
Ancient people was infantile. They was immature. They did not understand reality, so they made up stuff. They made up stuff to explain why the sun do this, why crocodiles do that, where babies come from, and whatever. They were smart, but they was illiterate and ignorant also. Matter of fact, remember, the majority of the people on the planet are illiterate and ignorant. That's why they picked up these beliefs and things that don't make sense. They don't know no better. The same way you do a child. You tell a child about Santa Claus. Now, I have to give some children credit. Some children would tell you, that don't even make any sense. Here you live in Chicago, and you talking about a fat white dude gonna come down the chimney and bring them presents, and your child is like, we don't have a chimney. The last time a fat white dude came in our neighborhood, they robbed him. See, some children is sharp. Here you are, a grown man and woman, and y'all dumb as hell. You dumb as hell. Caught up in these fairy tales made up for children, for adults with childlike minds. On that note, I'm done. I think I covered everything that I wanted to cover. If I missed something, I'm pretty sure a Jabari lover will come on the page and remind me. And I will with a smile and being very civil, as the adult, show the child their error. Because that's what they need. Somebody also said to Chief X, do you believe that black people are going to throw down, let go of their spirituality anytime soon? Chief X says, of course not. Been around for thousands of years. They are going to let it go, though. Not in my lifetime. Not in Chief X's lifetime. You're gonna let it go. Because the more technological, the smarter the people get, they're gonna see that stuff as the nonsense as it really is. If you notice, when you look at superheroes and science fiction and Star Trek and Star Wars and things like that, Battlestar Galactica, if you notice, they don't talk about God. They don't talk about Islam. They don't talk about Judaism. They don't talk about Jesus. They don't talk about none of that stuff. Here they are, flying around in the universe. Every day, they flying around in the universe. They are in the heavens. Nobody found God yet. If anybody is God, you're the God.
Speed warning.
And you don't know nothing about no spirits. You don't know nothing about no God. When you talk about God and spirits, in the English vernacular, that's the word I'm looking for, it's something called impersonification. Impersonification is giving something that is not human characteristics.
At 2.5 miles, keep to the right on I-80
a spirit
6 west.
that is not human, you give the spirit human characteristics. So the spirit is a he and a she. It cries. It gets angry. God gets angry. You call God a he. All these are human characteristics. Because you can only speak about what you're familiar with.
Speed warning.
You cannot talk about God you cannot talk about God or spirits outside of what you know. A spirit is not human. God is not human, but yet and still they have human characteristics. Why is that? How is that? Because that's all you know. The people that wrote the Bible and the Quran, those people who created spirituality and religion, human beings. They never met God. They never met a spirit. So the only thing they can do is refer to what they know is human behavior. Like Elijah Muhammad said, take it or let it alone. On that note, let me thank you for listening. Jot down your comments. And as always, I wish us love, peace, and soul.